Hello, everyone, and welcome to the quarterfinals. Is it the quarters or is this the semis now? I think we're in the quarters, right? Fantastic, right? The first quarterfinal of the Minecraft Glitchless Invitational over on GSA. We have Feinberg versus Raoul. This is going to be a really interesting match. I'm here with Reela in the booth. Going to be commentating these for you. How you feeling, Reela?
Hi, I'm doing fine.
Good stuff. Looks like both of these players are ready and set up with the negative 15 seconds timer. I really like the fact that that's a an implementation that's been added for this tournament. It's a cool way of starting things off to make sure that everything is linked up perfectly. Really good way of doing things. But yeah, looks like some sort of ocean seed here. Can imagine that these guys are going to be looking for some shipwrecks or some buried treasures. But yeah, we're going to wait for these guys to get going. Two of the fastest runners in this tournament, of course, Feinberg and Raoul. I'm just looking forward to this one because this is going to be pretty hectic. Both of these guys are very confident, quick speedrunners. Both of them being on pace very frequently. Good mechanics, good game sense, good movement, good crafting, good game knowledge. Really well-rounded players, and I can see this one going right down to the wire, coming down to the perch, coming down to the axis calculator, coming down to the maths. You know, I can just see this one being really close. Reela, have you got any favorites? Yeah. Anyone that you think, either one that you think is going to take home the victory from the start?
I don't know. I'm having like a hard time picking because if let's look at their history, right? Feinberg's got a streak of winning tournaments lately.
Certainly does.
But on the other hand, Raoul's been performing incredibly well this entire event.
Yeah, that's very true.
I would love to see Raoul succeed and push Feinberg a little bit and really challenge him for his winning streak. But either way, I'm sure it'll be a good match.
Yeah, without a doubt. I can definitely see both of these runners pushing each other to be their very fastest, but that could inherently show some mistakes from either of these runners that may not be feeling too confident. I think that's going to be a very common theme. I think both of these players are going to be playing to their maximum potential, and sometimes they might push it over the top a little bit, take a little bit of an immature death, take a little bit of something that could have been avoided. Could definitely occur here, but looks like a very similar start from both of these runners. Going to be grabbing some wood, going to be grabbing some logs, looking to try and go into that ocean and look for a shipwreck. Can't see anything instantly. Looks like Feinberg's looking around for maybe a magma ravine to try and enter from, as he does spot this shipwreck down here. Let's see how many iron this has. I can imagine that the seed finders weren't too friendly. Oh, no, they were. Look at that. The whole 11 iron. Very nice. Rather than just giving them 7 and forcing them to play wood axe or something like that, they can actually make an iron axe, which is very friendly. Something very, very nice to see.
Yeah, so we've got a high iron start. It's going to be pretty comfortable. The biggest issue I see looks like a lack of food, so hopefully their spawn will be kind to them.
Soul Sam Valley T Feinberg. I'm looking forward to it. I cannot wait to see these skeletons just deal all of the damage. Let's see, where do they spawn? No, they do spawn in a crimson biome. Pretty friendly, able to grab some food here as well. As was predicted, both of these runners on such similar pace here, entering the Nether almost simultaneously. Both grabbing some wood, finding this bastion. It's like they've got a mirrored screen. That was like identical pace. Looks like Raoul's going left here while Feinberg's digging straight through the middle to find a... So he's just going to go straight down bottom of housing. I think...
And again, at the same time.
Yeah, same time. This is... Wow. Okay, well, a very interesting race, and not something unexpected. Both of these runners are both fantastic, so looking forward to seeing who's going to have the subtle differences, like Feinberg throwing out his pickaxe there for no apparent reason.
Yeah, when it comes down to tournaments like this, the first round is always kind of like a sort of game. It's kind of like you're testing each other, right? Because you don't really you can have an idea of how good the other player is, but you don't know how close you are until after the first round, because then you know, like, this is where I was when the other player finished, or like how far behind they were you.
Yep. So, look at this, Feinberg going for the backup gold here. That's the first difference in gameplay that I've seen. Actually, probably going to get a few more piglins down here. Maybe from the top. It doesn't look like there's any that are coming down straight away. But does allow him to get more trades, even though it doesn't look like he needs it. He has a lot of pearls, a lot of string. Not sure about the obsidian, but he has a stack of gold in his inventory. He clearly didn't need all of that. Data Pack being very kind to him on this occasion. Of course, we do see the fortress right there. What a beautiful seed this would be to roll in RSG. Looking for some obsidian now. Is that 21 obby already? In Feinberg's inventory there? I can't quite tell. Or is that 18?
So. It might be... It's one of the dark ones. I'm having some trouble telling.
Couldn't quite tell.
I mean, either way, he's got plenty of gold still, and the trades should be pretty kind to him, considering that this one is a booster seed. We see Raul entering the fortress here. Looks like he is done, I believe.
Yeah, I guess so. Probably has the 20 obby, considering he left the gold trading for a little bit longer. No! Looks like he's only got 18. Maybe he's left some gold trading in the bastion while he's killing these blazes. A little bit of task overlap could definitely come out for him here. Going to be blaze bedding. Very happy to see that. Top side blaze bed coming out. Going to use the nether brick to ensure that it's the correct blast durability. And boom. Clearing out all of those areas. Filling it back in to make sure no blazes go anywhere.
The terrain
and Feinberg does the same.
Side of the spawner is pretty kind to him.
Feinberg looking to block up this lava here. I wonder why that could be. Maybe doesn't want to lose any blaze rods that might fall off and go down into the lava, because that could make all the difference. Just one blaze rod drop. You know, could be a massive difference. Looks like Feinberg's probably going to be starting to build his portal here. 20 obby, of course, so able to make his first portal, and we're likely going to see axis calculated from Feinberg. It's his favored method of calculation. I'm not sure if Raul is a perfect traveler, but I think he is also axis calc supremacy, given that he is part of GNG. That seems to be their preferred method. You know, Ninja Brain coming up with that, so able to... Probably going to be using axis calculated here.
So, something we're noticing here is we did talk about the low food at the start of this seed, and we see now we're all sitting here on 3 hearts and is killing some hoglins to try and make up for that. Feinberg's been doing incredibly well the entire time.
Yeah.
Really took minimal damage the entire nether with, I think, no food.
Yeah, still on 6 hearts, only taken 4 hearts of damage. And looks like he's preparing this axis calculated here, and getting the precise angles of both of these eyes just to make sure that he's able to do those calculations. It's a lot of mental math that goes on in speedrunning Minecraft. Something you probably wouldn't have been able to predict just a year ago. Looks like, again though, both of these runners seem to be at similar paces, but it might be the difference in travel that we're going to see here. Looks like Raul might be going for obsidian in the chest of the fortress. Is that what he's doing here, or is he just happening to go past one and just going to check it?
He might be trying to go for it. It's either that or looking for a travel spot, but it does look like he's peeking around corners and checking, so I would assume that his goal is to find obsidian in the chest. It's not a role that I can agree with. Oh, wait, maybe.
Huh. Maybe he was going to good coordinates? Not 100% sure here. Let's have a little look. Doesn't look like he's going to be axis calculating. Maybe he'll do a distance estimation, or maybe he's just hoping to rip a good blind travel, and that's exactly what he's going to do here.
I mean, given the circumstances, he doesn't really have much of a choice other than to try and get lucky with a blind, considering he did only manage to get the 18 obby before he left the bastion. It puts him in a rough spot compared to Feinberg, who, if he does his axis calculated correctly, will likely be pretty far ahead.
Yeah, very, very true. I can assume that Feinberg is going to get within about 100 blocks of the Stronghold for his second portal. He's very reliable with axis calculated. And you can see him popping the coordinates that he needs into the chat so that he doesn't forget them. Raul, on the other hand, spamming the pearls to try and catch up and try and get to that Stronghold first. Looks like there was about a 0.8 maybe degree change there. Was not a high roll. So that's about 1,200 blocks away, which is not amazing. Let's see. Does the eye go straight down? No, but it does look like it might go straight along this line of chunks. It could be either this chunk or the next one over. Let's see when Feinberg throws this next eye. There it is. Wow. That's a huge angle change. He's just going to leave that eye, knows that it's going to point towards the 8-8 of this chunk, and is happy to dig straight down right here. Going to make a bow first. Very good play. Lots of beds. Substantial amounts of beds. Absolutely comfortable on that front. Going to hunger reset before he even goes for the dig down. Rips the Endermite and dies to it.
Slain by the Endermite. Well done.
Very good stuff here. And he's now digging down. Doesn't look like Raul's going to come back in this unless we see a legendary throw, but we have seen legendary throws from Feinberg before. It would not be the first time that we have seen throws in tournaments from Feinberg, even while being on such amazing pace.
We're seeing Raul's decision to not stay and wait for 20 obby becoming more and more consequential, since he has to use his extra pearls to catch up, but we already know that this seed was low on food to begin with. He's ending up having to stop and kill animals multiple times to try and make up for that health.
Yes, that's a really good point. You know, that sort of thing just loses you a few seconds, maybe just to kill one pig or two pigs, but then it does add up, and you can see now Feinberg entering the end at 10:19. Fantastic pace. I mean, you sort of expect nothing less. Feinberg's an experienced runner, as is Raul, of course, but using the half bow strategy, going to take out a few crystals, maybe not the caged ones. We're going to take out a few crystals here from the ground just to encourage that dragon to perch more reliably at a decent time rather than going for a high roll.
From him.
Yeah, pretty accurate there. Still with 17 arrows. So even if he was to mess up this one cycle, which, you know, isn't unheard of, but probably is very unlikely, even if he was to mess up this one cycle, he still would be able to take out all the crystals that are remaining, given the fact that he still has 17 arrows. But he's already predicted the purge, and there it is.
And the purge. There we go.
He left 4 beds on the hotbar as well.
7 beds, I believe. So.
Oh, he doesn't need
and
7.
We see great damage here. He doesn't need them.
That is absolutely fantastic. Just really very clean play from Feinberg there. Nothing out of the ordinary. 7 Raul deciding to go for the blind rather than go for the educated, and it looks like it did not pay off for Raul here. Of course, it can do on the odd occasion, but you're really relying on luck in that situation. And an 11:34 as Raul finds the correct chunk here. The eye goes down and he starts to dig down. Just not fast enough. That's unfortunate. It was a very good match. And of course, they were neck and neck, as cliche as it is, right up until that bastion split. Well, even when they entered the fortress, it was very similar pace. But, you know, the 18 obby versus the 20 obby, that made seemingly all the difference. a great seed as well. You just love to roll this. You'd love to be able to just rip this in RSG. Feinberg checking how far the distance is from this second portal. Just 2 chunks, buddy. Just 2 chunks. Nearly. Oh no, 3 chunks.
Is this a flex check?
No, he's getting worse. He was 2 chunks away last match. Now he's getting 3 chunks away. He's getting worse.
Yeah.
Really has to pick up his game now.
That last chunk made all the difference.
So true. Should have traveled an extra, maybe 4 blocks in the Nether. Could have been right there. I'm sure he's cursing himself. He really wanted to spawn in that stronghold. If he spawns in that stronghold, we're talking that's potentially even, you know, a minute faster. That would be crazy. Anyway, 11:35. That's faster than both of their PBs. Just showing how good these players really are when it comes down to good seeds. And we can see Raoul putting in the next seed here as well. I really like the play of Feinberg going for the backup gold in housing. I think it was a smart idea because it does lure in some more piglins from the top. It also allows you to have that flexibility. If the trades aren't going your way, you can stay for a bit longer. And he had that spare gold at the end to be able to, you know, wait for those piglins at the top to be able to give him those final 2 obby trades. Made all the difference in the end. Raoul here loading into the seed. Looks like a swamp next to a desert acacia. Not seeing any structures off the bat. Rila, what are we thinking here? What's going to be going on here?
It's looking like, based on plains, desert, spawn all around, probably village is my guess. Which means we'll hopefully be seeing enters with food, but no promises, I guess.
True. Yep. You know, we're likely going to see food, and now with that, you know, that's going to cause already some differences between these runners, most likely. Are we going to see them pick up 2 hay bales, 6 hay bales, any number in between? Are we going to see them go for cod strats if there's no blacksmith? Are we going to see an enter with just a wood pick? There's a lot of different options, especially if they if there is simply a lava pool next to a village. Could definitely show a lot of options for these 2 runners. We can see the countdown has begun.
Countdowns.
Here we go. As expected. Good call, Rila. Gets it bang on the nose. Blacksmith in this village. Are we going to see a 12 obby blacksmith? No, we're going to see 3 obsidian with an iron pickaxe. Not the worst at all, not the worst. But now these runners are going to be thinking, how do I get this enter? Where am I going to be entering the Nether from? We can already see a slight difference. Looks like Feinberg's going to be making a hoe here. Something that
that's an interesting choice. I haven't actually seen any hay bales yet. As they were looking around the village, headed to the blacksmith, I didn't see any.
Yeah, you can't spot any on Feinberg's screen right now. Will you regret making that hoe? No, look, there are some just here. Ooh, but look at this. Raoul finds the entry straight away. No looting on that sword, unfortunately. No FSG style here, but he's getting straight in. 3 bits of bread straight in the fortress, Soulstone Valley. This is already not looking the friendliest, but he is in the Nether 1 minute in. Doesn't want to take much damage, sprinting straight over to this bastion, connected to the fortress. And he's there.
Now,
I mean,
the last seed was a bastion. This is...
very true.
So, treasure.
The bastion that will ever be. He does have the gold armor on already as well, which is very nice. Able to root this bastion from the back, getting the treasure, starting the Ninja Brain route here. Once again, GNG taking its inspiration very heavily from Ninja Brain. And there we go. popping all these piglins into the holes. And we can see Feinberg taking the different route. Going to go back to the bridge. And going to lure in probably a few more piglins by doing this. Just a few from the bridge that he's able to get. Of course, having those gold pants on, causing the piglins up the staircase not to be aggroed. A little bit of an issue, but still able to play this route. What are we playing here? Looks like it's going to be the updated route. It's a newer one, and I can't remember what it's called now off the top of my head. It is akin to the very first treasure route that we had from T-Wag. Not exactly sure which whose it is. It might be Rainex's, actually.
In Minecraft speedrunning, all things come back to T-Wags, so...
All things come back to T-Wags, very true. But yeah, T-Wag did make a route very similar to this back in the old days when a 4-minute bastion split was considered amazing. Now, you know, we're looking for sub 2, we're looking for 1:30, we're looking for, you know, in some cases, 1-minute bastion splits. And supposedly, according to Feinberg, this is one of the better ones, but not in that case.
Oh, no.
Feinberg takes a death to a stray piglin. And that's something you're not going to get with the Ninja Brain route. And he has fallen far behind on this seed now. What's going to be the play? He's going to grab a little bit of wood, going to likely make some tools before going back. Going to need those. Oh, well, that's a turn up for the books. Let's see how he's going to try and come back in this. And let's see how Raul extends his current lead as he takes on these blazes.
Raul looks pretty comfortable in this low RD Solstheim Valley Fortress after his bastion. It's already got, I think, several blaze rods.
Yeah, it looks like there's going to be definitely got a few blaze rods already. And Raul going to make the leap of faith over to this side. Fine dice again. Of course, spawning right back on that Solstheim Valley Fortress, dying to a stray with a skeleton. It's going to be tough for him to come back, but here's an opportunity with Raul taking damage from a wither skeleton right there. Cranking over. Looks like he's going to survive this one just fine, though. With 5 hearts left. Far more comfortable than I thought he would be. Actually looking totally fine. It was a little bit scary as he was pillaring over, taking damage from the wither effect. Thought he might get knocked off slightly, but no, it looks like all is good for Raul at the moment.
This brutal is really hard to come back from with no gear. I can't really blame Feinberg for having taken that second death. I mean, we already knew from the first enter on Raul's end that having Solstheim Valley instant fortress spawn is dangerous with tools.
For sure. But of course, you know, Feinberg should be one of those players that should be able to handle those scenarios, all of the situations that can be thrown at him. Wasn't able to handle that stray piglin just walking up the stairs. And Raul rightly in the lead right here. I wonder what we're going to see from Raul. Are we going to see back to the original portal, given that it is in the fortress? Or are we going to see straight into the double travel, which it looks like it. You know, 24 obsidian does make a lot of sense. Probably going to be going for axis calculated here. Gonna head out to a little bit further away coordinates just to make sure those portals don't link up and make his first portal not quite in the Stronghold ring. But
and again, Raul's exiting the Nether on 3 hearts.
Very true. Only left the village with 3 bread, but it doesn't matter. If you get smacked in the face with 3 shots from a piglin, that's really gonna... It doesn't matter how many pieces of bread you've got in your inventory. You're going to be taking all that damage. Looks like Raul is going to be setting up this axis calc here, while Feinberg's finally starting off killing some blazes on 5 RD.
He lost a blaze rod to the fire, which is not really something that you want to see when you're already behind.
Yeah, already a bad start when he's taken two deaths already. 7 Raul writing those coordinates in chat, killing a few chicken just in the local vicinity, able to use those to his advantage and maybe go for a hunger reset could be the play here before he heads back to the Nether, and we might see that just here. We certainly are. We're going to see a hunger reset coming out for Raul here. No fire res on him and able to burn himself to death. Just to reset the hunger, reset the health, and head back to the Nether. While Feinberg finds a spawner. Something that Raul didn't go for. Went straight for the 5 render distance. Something that is very prevalent with Soul Sand Valley fortresses. Able to increase the spawn rates of those
Looks like
blazes.
a nice double spawner here.
Does.
One enclosed and one open. Pretty close. It looks like you should be able to activate them within distance of each other.
Now Raul here, taking a quick break just to do a little bit of mental maths. You know, a very common thing that runners have to do. This is why you can see Feinberg here leaving without all of the rods that he needs, so that you can do the mindless task of clicking blazes while you're trying to add the 144 to the minus 26. Find out which direction we're going, find out where exactly you're placing that portal. But now, Raul's done with that maths and is looking to pearl to his second portal location. Low on food, low on health, but having the knowledge of the Stronghold location is going to be a huge help for him here. Really, really in the lead. We might see a game 3, what every commentator ever has wanted to see.
And especially in a match like this, where at the beginning we said that it was going to be close, it's nice to see that it, in fact, is. Even before the death, you know, before Feinberg had taken those unfortunate deaths and ended up far behind, he was pretty close on Raul's heels, even though Raul had entered at a minute and Feinberg entered maybe 30 seconds later.
Yeah, certainly so. You know, differences in route, differences in entry times. But it looks like Raul is going to be taking his second, going for his second portal right here, ready to see, are we going to get an ice pie? We aren't. Spawning in at Y77, so at least he's above ground. And that is not a friendly angle. That does not look like he's getting to an 8-8 nearby. That looked very straight along the axis, and he was standing right at the corner of the chunk. So, he may be a few chunks off here. This isn't, you know, this doesn't seem to be too close. Maybe 8 chunks, 10 chunks, something like that, 160 blocks. Could definitely be a possibility for Feinberg to maybe gain some ground. You know, we might see a slower perch on one side could make all the difference. And Feinberg looks like he's ready to make his second portal as well, with that overlap of blaze killing and mental math coming out to help. Maybe Raul's messed up his maths.
Raul's really messed up here.
Yeah.
I mean,
maybe
standing
the math
in the
was
center
not
of
his strong
this line
suit.
of chunks and it heading to the chunk set on the left doesn't look good for him.
No, he really calculated that incorrectly, whatever it was. Still going as well.
Wow. I mean, it's
really
gotta
must have
be at least, I don't know, a couple dozen chunks out. That was a serious misstep in the calculated.
Yeah, like that's not a simple that's not just a simple, oh, I messed up by, you know, 3 chunks like we saw Feinberg do last time. This is straight along an axis and a long way away, still
Feinberg
going for him as
out
well.
Now, so we could be seeing him actually pull ahead here despite the deaths.
He's confident with his axis calculated. He's checking these caves. He's looking around. He's seeing if he might see some stone brick. Unable to. So he is going to have to go back to the surface. He's very confident with that sort of play. And still further. 7 Raul saying how in the chat. Really confused as to how he's messed up this triangulated so badly. What's gone wrong for him here? Has he missed a negative? Missed an... Nothing springing to mind. And it's still going! He needs to distance check now. He needs to stop throwing the eyes, because I can only see 11 in his inventory, even if it is just to, you know, get a distance check on the board, just a simple 16 block, check how far away I am, because throwing all of these eyes is not going to help.
Yeah, at this point, Raul's understand that they've made a serious mistake in the calculated. I mean, standing on the border of this chunk and it not going towards heavy center of anything nearby, it's not looking good. I mean, this calculated was at least a couple hundred out. It's time to reevaluate and do a distance check.
Yeah. And okay, well, he does
Okay.
8-8 on that chunk, and I think he knew that it might have been this one. Okay, this one right here. Going to be digging down, and looks like Feinberg's doing the same thing. Wow.
Loses that entire lead.
The whole lead. The whole lead. 2 deaths taken by Feinberg, but able to catch up.
Honestly, in fact, I think Raul's behind. Yeah.
It's going to come down to the nav.
Nav and Perch is what we're looking at now. Do we have any information on their beds?
I have information on the fact that Raul has 5, and I believe he also has a bow. Unsure as to Feinberg's inventory. I've really been focusing on Raul for the last, like 3 minutes while he's been triangulating the stronghold, which was very far away. Wow, they're going through the same door at the same time. What is this? It's like a mirror.
Again, we're back to the mirror images. These players have been super close.
And they find it at the same time. What? What's going on here?
Same time enter. It is down to Perch.
Looks like Fine has tons and tons of beds, but no arrows. I don't see any arrows in his inventory.
So
that could make all the difference.
If Raul has the arrows to do.
I know Raul made a bow.
Let me see. Ooh.
7 arrows, it looks like. Yeah. Oh, 17 arrows. So definitely enough to make a substantial difference in the Perch RNG, in this Perch race.
But it looks like he's not going for it. He must think that he's behind.
He doesn't have a pearl. He doesn't have a pearl, so he's looking to try and get a pearl first. And Feinberg's able to crank out to the far distance to try and increase his Perch RNG.
Gets such bad luck on these pearl drops from the 2 Enderman kills as well. Is that the dragon circling on Raul's end?
It may be. It is not.
No,
he got Perch there. Looking to try and get an Enderman in this boat while Feinberg is standing here at max distance, just cranking away, looking to do something, waiting for this dragon to perch on both sides of the screen. Who is going to get there first? Feinberg's confident, pearls early, and there's the perch for him.
He gets that perch. Oh, let's see. He's
5
got
beds.
Plenty of beds.
Bad first damage, bad second damage.
Okay, third.
Oh, the fourth
one is so good.
There it is. Has spare in his inventory too.
It's incredible that Feinberg was able to pull it back. The task overlap between the blazes and that calculated math, I think, helped him make up some of that time. And just the Raul choking on that calculated was the mess up he needed.
And there's the
Raul does get that perch.
Raul.
First one was the height
gutting.
check. Beds weren't great, but he does pull it off. Unfortunate that it was just too late.
About 15 seconds between it, Raul saying that he's so bad in chat, gutted about that Axis calculation. No idea what went on. Looks like Fine is saying GG in the flames.
GG's in the fire. Yeah. I mean, well played from both players, but that mistake on the calculated just... That was the mistake that Feinberg needed to catch up.
Maybe it was a confidence issue for that first seed when he decided against going for the calculated play, going for the blind instead. Maybe he was just feeling unconfident with his mental math ability at the moment. But a really, really close game, and unfortunately 2-0. We weren't able to see that third match that we were really wanting, something that we've almost expected. But we've asked both of these guys to see if they want to have an interview, and it looks like Feinberg has joined for that interview. How you doing, Fine? Getting the 2-0 victory.
Anytime I can get a chance to talk to you, I'll take a chance.
No, buddy. Oh, you should stop it, you. But yeah, how do you think you played that last seed there?
I mean, I think I played the first seed really well. I mean, dude, the second seed was crazy. I mean, the overall was simple. I like getting a lot of food in tourneys. to not die, but obviously it didn't happen. I know exactly why I died too. Like, I mean, obviously Treasure's janky, but there was like this late pig on the right, and I gave him a gold ingot, so he was coming in late. I mean, I still shouldn't have died. Like, I should have been able to like hit a 1-block jump, you know, but I didn't. And then I was like, all right, I'm good. Like, I'll just run back, and then I spawn back in, and there's like 35 mobs, and I was like, dude. I was like, it's over. Like, it's done. Like, unless this dude died, like, he's got all his rounds already. I was like, oh my god. I don't even know how I survived the second time going back. I literally have no idea. Because the mobs were still there. Just like Matrix or whatever. 280 didn't, like, do anything. And then, I mean, all my stuff was there. Like, the death was, like, not awful, I guess. And then, I mean, I played the rest of this too well. This Axis was a little off to, like, 100 or something.
Not as off as Raul's.
Yeah, buddy, your Axis was not off.
No, I heard that's what my chat said. I was like, how did I win? Because I lost like 2-3 minutes of dying, so I just wasn't sure.
Yeah, you made up some time when you chose to leave your Nether early to start your calculated math, and then you were able to close the gap after Raul had a serious mishap in their calculated math.
Gotcha.
Genuinely, it seemed like he had the right line of chunks, but about like 900 blocks off.
He could have been looking at single chunk and doing double chunk or vice versa, maybe.
Could have happened, you know, or maybe
like angled
added
totally
rather
off.
than divided.
Yeah.
Added rather than minus, or something along those lines. But, you know, once again, you've pulled out a 2-0 victory, as has been the case for I think all of your matches so far. Correct?
I can't remember.
I don't think you've lost a set as of yet. But I'm promising you, the ending to this match is something you definitely want to go and rewatch. You want to see like how in sync the two screens were from dig down to end enter.
That Stronghold map was identical.
And
not even in an exaggerated way. I mean, the same staircase.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you entered end literally simultaneously. It was a really, really fun one to watch. And I'm not knowledgeable on who you can be facing next.
I think it's the winner of Illumina and Crux. So I mean, like,
wow.
Yeah, I know. All right, yeah.
I was gonna ask you who do you prefer, but I'm gonna be real. What kind of question is that?
No comment. There's no preference there for him. It's like,
yeah. Who would you prefer to worry about, get restless, sleepless nights over? Exactly. Looks like a very, very tough match coming up for you, but either way, we're not going to see another one of those tournaments today. I think we're heading over to Jack and Daxter, a different speedrun tournament up next with Trots versus Evil Morty on after this. So
the next Minecraft Glitchless Invitational match is Saturday at 1, I think.
At 1 Eastern, I assume. Is that?
Do you know who that is? Does it show up on the thing?
It's not scrolling on the bottom, and my brain is not good enough to remember what. Oh, look at that!
Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much.
Next match will be Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern, Illumina versus Crux.
I gotta VOD review that. Oh my god.
You're not gonna be awake for it, so you're gonna have to watch it when you wake up.
No, yeah, I'll be awake. I'm doing stuff with Curry tomorrow. This dude's got a boomer schedule.
Oh, there you go. And of course, we then see Sizzler versus Dylan at 3:30 p.m. on Saturday, and Kuraway versus Doug the Pig on Monday. Really, a good few matches. We're getting right to the crux of this tournament now. And fine, I mean, you've bagged top 4. That's guaranteed. You know, you've worked for the bag. You're gonna cash out for the drip.
That's the goal, man. We're continuing to work. At the end, we're gonna cash out. I'm not ready to cash out yet. The safety net is not there for him. Okay.
All right.
I'm not ready to cash out. So on the grind.
Well, thank you so much, Feinberg, for the interview. I'm assuming that we will be heading to an intermission, and then GSA will be back with the Jack and Daxter match in a little bit.